You go. Hi, this is Paul Sackett, Good News Planet. I'm speaking to Dr. Scott Evenbeck. Hi, Doctor. How are you?
Good morning. I'm glad you're here on campus today.
Yes, I'm on campus, and geez, it's interesting to say the word campus, and we're really on 40th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue, overlooking Bryant Park, which feels like a campus kind of a setting because it's such a gorgeous park. And we're at a CUNY, one of the newest, if not the newest, community school here in the CUNY system. Is that right?
It is. We're the first new college in over 4 decades. Our first students came in fall of 2012.
Aha, and Scott's the president. And the name of the school is the Stella and Charles Guttman?
Yes, Stella and Charles Guttman Community College.
Yeah, we love the name Guttman since my family's last name is a Guttman. And actually, I met how I got introduced to your school was one of your outreach, I guess, new partnerships. Tiffany Bailey was at a Greek event, Greek business person's event. And we started talking. She said, I work at the Stella and Charles Guttman University here in New York, and because my mother's family are Guttmans, but we found out probably not related directly, but of course all people are related to each other in some form or fashion. And we decided to come down, and then we've been pleasantly, not surprised, but pleasantly happy to be part of the school. And I have Wada, who's on the camera, who's a great intern with us, and she's running the company now. So tell us about the school. Tell us about your participation, some of the good things that you're doing, because it's well worth sharing.
Great. Well, CUNY wanted to start a new community college for 2 reasons. One is that there's so much demand for students to go to community colleges in the city of New York, and the borough of Manhattan had only one college, so we're the second college in our borough. And CUNY wanted to have a college that tried to do things differently, to have a single-minded focus on the success of the students who come from New York City to build their careers, to get associate degrees, to get jobs, to go on for baccalaureate education, and to take advantage of this surge of research that's gone on in the last 2 decades on what can you do to provide context for students so they can be successful. So CUNY appointed a study committee. They worked for over 2 years to look at all the factors associated with student success. And what we came up with is a very student-centered, city-centered curriculum where the students come together in the summer for a bridge program where they learn about what college is going to be like, where they do projects on neighborhoods, they report out to one another, they find out that there are peers, their fellow students are people they get to know in that first 2.5 weeks. They find out this is a good environment for them, and then when school starts right after Labor Day, they're really ready to get down to studying and work to be academically successful. I think the faculty are really demanding, but we've put together contexts where faculty and student success advocates, advisors, and peer mentors and librarians work together to serve students who take their classes in cohort groups. So 25 students take all their classes with the same 24 other students. They get to know one another, support one another. The faculty and staff work in instructional teams, so they coordinate the curriculum in city seminar, which is the heart of student study in the first year, in ways that students in the fall tackle issues of sustainability, and in the spring, immigration, and the quantitative reasoning and reading and writing are all intertwined as they study together. So, we do teach sociology, we do teach separate subjects, but the point of this first year city seminar is for students to have a very integrated experience where they study things of interest to them. We all build our knowledge by attaching new things to what we already know. So students come in, know a little bit about sustainability, they care about it, especially after the hurricane. We're all thinking about issues of sustainability, and so it's a very powerful way for the students to get introduced to big ideas, to work with other students in a supportive environment.
Okay, very interesting. You know, this used to be the water pump for the city's reservoir right across the street. Not many people know that one.
Now it's our quadrangle.
Yeah, now it's your quad. That's what Bryant Park was before there was a library on it. So environment has always been of concern and of importance to humankind, right?
Right. Well, and particularly in New York City, that being subject to global warming, to think about how we can sustain and build on this incredible momentum we have with nearly half the folks living in New York City being immigrants, and those students and their families being so committed to learning. CUNY does a fantastic job on all its campuses of serving young people and other folks who've moved to New York City to build their lives, to build their careers. That how can we make sure that we take advantage of that commitment to learning, that wanting to be a success for themselves and their families, in a way that we make sure that 30 years from now, New York is an even greater city than it is now.
I remember Uncle Monroe, who was a CUNY, and my mother also, mentioning this. I don't know if it's still true, but I'm sure it was true for many, many years. Most of the CEOs of America come from CUNY schools.
Well, and many Nobel laureates.
Right.
I mean, the alumni of CUNY have really shaped the world, and CUNY now is committed to maintain that incredible trajectory.
So tell us about that. The two-year school, though, is quite interesting, and for the Guttman family to want to do that, being such great entrepreneurs with the Paddington Company, and quite successful, and putting their endowment into education, and putting it into some more into education to make sure that those being educated do well. How did you initially start? Now I know you have Indiana, I think, is one of the words in your life,
Right.
And you've been in education, but it seems like you've always wanted better growth for students. You saw a concern of students not making it,
Right.
and wanted to. You seem like the right man in the right job.
Well,
From
I
the
always
background.
I always wanted to live in New York, and now I get to.
Oh, you got that
Yeah,
part,
right.
okay.
And my job, my whole career has been to try to put things in place so that students who are often not successful in higher ed can be successful. So it's the low-income, first-generation, often diverse students who don't have the outcomes that they want, nor the outcomes that the universities and colleges want for them. So it's a really special opportunity to get to work with the faculty and staff here to try to organize how we do our work wrapped around students so that the students can be more successful.
So how does a student get into the school? Let's start there. So do they have to be New York City residents, or New York State residents, or can they even be an international student?
They're nearly all from New York City, though international students and students from elsewhere can come. But we have students from all 5 boroughs, and nearly all, as I said, are from New York City. Our students generally are young students, that they come here within a year or two after finishing high school or getting their GEDs. Most of the students who start CUNY community colleges are full-time. We ask that all our students be full-time, and we have a calendar that encourages them to study all year long. In the fall, we have a 12-week term and then a 6-week term. And in the spring, we have a 12-week term and then a 6-week term. What other colleges would call a summer term, we call spring 2. So most of our students go to college around the whole calendar, and I think that really supports their success. That many of them have to take jobs, but it's not like they turn off their school life, go do a summer job, and then come back and turn their school life back on. Their school life is turned on 12 months of the year.
You know, Tiffany was kind enough to invite us to an outreach for corporations in town to meet some of the students. Very, very well run, I will say. You know, it was like a corporate. This was unique too. I guess probably you have a lot of unique programs, but it was sort of like corporate dating, speed dating.
Right, right.
You went around this room, and you had about 2 minutes with each student, and they were all, I said, I'd hire, I'd bring in, I mean, everyone was really, really special, but the concept of really, getting right down, and everybody getting a chance to get a little bit of a taste of, say, 20 companies right there.
Yeah, that was really high energy that day.
That was high energy.
Yeah, our folks in the partnerships
2 hours of
office.
high energy.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
fantastic.
Very special.
Well, you said about how, here we have this campus in the middle of New York. It wasn't a campus till the students came. And, they've really made it come alive. When people come to visit, we're all trying to do a good job, but the folks who always help others get the best handle on our campus are the students themselves, because they're so articulate about their experience here. Our total recreation program is one ping pong table, but yet the students have created a rich co-curricular life with good support in different ways, and finding many different ways to engage with the city.
Well, a lot of the success of a school comes from the leadership of the school. This wasn't a campus until the students came. Obviously you're pro students.
Yeah, it's the only reason we're here is students and student learning. Single-minded focus.
And from the president, that's what you love to hear, because it just filters down through the company.
Well, we're all. It's about all of us supporting the students. That when we have a retreat, which we do twice a year, everybody goes.
Retreat.
Every single person who works in the college goes to those meetings, and we all talk together about what we can do to improve our work with the students. So everyone who works here has a voice. Each person plays a role in supporting the students.
All right. So upcoming, we're in mid-June, this interview in 2014, and the school began 2011?
August 20, 2012.
All right, 12, and you got a proclamation
Right.
here. There's the proof.
That's right.
Okay. You're accredited, right? You're on the wall. And so your first class is graduating?
We'll have many students who will finish only after 2 years. And so on August 27th, 2014, over at John Jay, we'll have our first commencement. It'll be a really banner day for the college. We're working hard to try to make sure that the students will always remember that day. It, too, will be totally focused on students. We want to find a way to highlight each of the graduates as they are the first graduates of Stella and Charles Guttman Community College.
All right, beautiful. Is there anything future that you see after, we all learn from experience, right? And you have a few years in now.
Right.
Tweaks and desires and dreams?
Well, one of the really important considerations will be where we expand the academic program. We have only 5 majors now. We have some others in the works, but I think there are others that will be on the horizon, because we want to make sure that we have programs that are attuned to the needs of New York City, places where the students will get jobs, and places where the city wants for students to be able to get those jobs. In STEM fields, in health fields, are all expanding. Right now our student body's small, but someday it will be large, and we want to make sure that we're making a significant contribution to the city of New York by the majors that our students are able to pursue.
All right, it's all good. You have a beautiful website as well. And so when does somebody have to apply? When is a city resident that show residency, that kind of thing?
No, we'll take out-of-state students too, but we're an open admissions institution. We're first come, first served. Our students come to information sessions the winter before they come to college, because we want to make sure that they understand what we're about, that they have to be full-time, that we only have 5 majors. We don't have extensive co-curricular facilities. We want them to know what our college is like and what we're about before they come, but then they apply, and we're honestly first come, first served.
What does that mean, first come, first served?
We're open admissions, so we don't screen students out. If they meet the criteria to come to CUNY, which means they have a high school diploma or a GED, they are accepted here. And the first ones to apply are the first to be accepted. And we get up to the size of the entering class, and then after that, students go on a waiting list.
The size of the class would be approximately?
Well, the first year it was 300. This year it was 300. For fall 14, it will be 375. The next year it'll be 450. And the next year it'll be 600. So we're small, but we're showing remarkable growth. Not very many colleges double the size of their entering class in only a few years.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm a little confused. First come, first serve, 300 spots. You know,
Right.
getting into school. I don't know. Doesn't always. I don't know. I think I sent out a lot of applications and prayed that I could get into school. So, when is the next time somebody could apply for these 300 plus positions?
This fall.
This fall,
Right.
for
To enter in fall of 15.
a fall of 15.
Yep.
Okay. So those are very lucky young people.
Well, we think we're lucky to get them too, because we get students
I love
who
you.
are
You're great.
are
They're
really
fantastic.
committed.
How old are my grandkids? Let's think here.
Right. Well, send them.
Well, we already got the name here. No,
Right.
no.
Okay, great. That's right. I don't know if we have any students with the name yet, so this would be a good thing.
That's pretty wild. Really, that's great. Any other thing you'd like to share with our audience?
No, visit the campus, visit the website. If anyone wants more information, I and others who work here are very eager to answer questions and to let people know about this new community college that's part of CUNY right here on Bryant Park.
Fantastic. Well, it's a big honor to speak to the president here and a real student president. And thank you very much for sharing good news with us. Our last question always is, what's good news for you?
Student success.
You heard it here. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Great, thanks.
Doctor.
That was fun.
Thank you.